Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Hope all of you are doing well. Today, we're going to talk about the latest files released from Jeffrey Epstein that talks about Bitcoin. And I'm not going to go into the details. You can go and search it yourself. But I want to give you guys a summary that he was involved in funding the developers of Bitcoin, but those developers were funded later after the creation of Bitcoin. That's first thing. The second thing is that at the time that Bitcoin was created, he was in jail. Okay, ask yourself this question when it comes to Bitcoin and all this FUD that you listen to. What do you think Bitcoin is? Bitcoin has solved the biggest issue of the humankind. The biggest issue was the US dollar that is inflationary. Why would somebody come and make such a great asset that we never had in the history, ever, in the entire universe? Come and make that asset for you so you can benefit and all the humans can benefit, and to take the power back from the rich and give it to the poor people. Not the poor people, like generally spread it across the world and make it decentralized so it doesn't have a center to be controlled with. And the Bitcoin software itself, it cannot be controlled by an individual or the Bitcoin developers. Nobody can control it. Even if that guy funded or what was going on at that time, they received the funding, they were going bankrupt. It was so at least 4 or 5 years after the creation of Bitcoin that he did. So it does not mean that he is the creator of Bitcoin because still nobody knows who that person is. That's the first thing. The second thing is that since nobody can control it, imagine even if somebody evil as Jeffrey Epstein would make Bitcoin, would have created Bitcoin, he himself cannot control it. Does that make any sense? There should be a way out, right? You can say, okay, there's a 1 million Bitcoin that is sitting in Satoshi's wallet. What about that? What about it, bro? What about it? Look at all the other coins that are being released. How much of the supply the developers and the people are keeping, especially the influencer coins, the meme coins, they all dump it. But we haven't seen anything like that in the Bitcoin or the Bitcoin chart. I'm going to go into the chart and show you why things are happening the way it's happening. And also, there's one more thing that is deeper than this, which is, if you see when they released the files, it was nothing new to people. People already knew who were involved. They have blocked, or how can you say, they have hidden the faces of the people that they don't want you to see. They didn't release the information that you don't want to know, because if they do, the entire system is going to collapse. This entire matrix that they have built, this entire financial system is going to crash. The entire system of banking in the world is going to crash because people are going to come into chaos. They didn't release actually those files for you. The things they have released directly distracts you from the thing that is actually very good. Everybody is now running away from Bitcoin. Ask yourself this question: why were they calling at the top of Bitcoin at $125,000 all of the US politicians that Bitcoin is going to go to $1 million, to $500,000, to whatnot? What happened? Now everybody is calling like, oh, well, Bitcoin is happening with this, blah, the creator is this, Jeffrey Epstein, oh, he funded it. Bro, at this point, a lot of people are leaving and the Bitcoin price is coming to discount. I will show you chart that how normal it is for Bitcoin to come down, and specifically at this time, there are very few people, very few institutions that are still pushing for Bitcoin and the Bitcoin adoption that they're still buying. But the FUD that is being created by the influencer that everybody listens, they think that, okay, he is selling, let's sell it. It's not a good thing. Let's go into some other coin. Let's buy some any other meme coin or some influencer coin. So keep in mind that so far, nobody can control it. Nobody will ever be able to control it, inshallah, because uh, I mean, Bitcoin is the last hope for this financial system. There are very few people that are pushing for this, and you should understand that Bitcoin is the biggest competitor to the fiat money. It's the biggest competitor to the real estate. It's the biggest competitor to all the commodities, to all the equities, to the stock market, to anything that you know, because it is the best asset ever made. It has a fixed supply of 21 million that cannot be created. Nobody can. So I will show you now in the chart that how Bitcoin sometimes go overpriced because it's such a good thing, and it comes back down to stay in that mid-range of the fair value, which most people think it is, like they can afford and they can buy. I mean, people, if people were actually buying Bitcoin and adapting, we wouldn't be in this situation. But lately, it's all institutions that are buying. So it has become something like that, but still, I will show you in the chart. Let's go, because okay. So take a look at this entire chart of Bitcoin. Tell me if the price is down or the price is up. What do you think? Is the price down or is the price up? Is Bitcoin crashing or it's just going up? So if you see in a long time, like for a very long time, it has only going up. It's just going up in a very good shape. So it has following this pattern. You can see it just keeps going up. It hasn't come down. Why is this happening that you hear that, oh, the Bitcoin price is crashing? It's how people's minds work, unfortunately, that whenever the price is down, everybody's like, the price is crashing, and they manipulate the minds of people. But if you see all the videos I have made and what I teach you inside a halal portfolio is that do not get distracted by the news, because the price follows supply and demand, and it doesn't care what happens in the world. Trust me, it doesn't care. So you can see that it has uh, been following this pattern here. And every time it touches this line, which is a curve trend line or a power curve, you can call it, it only keeps going up. And now we are right at the touch of that place. I'm not going to tell you to come and buy it or whatever. You should understand it yourself. You are mature enough to understand what I'm saying here. And I have talked about this a lot of times, but this time I wanted to show you something else. So this is what I'm showing you. Bitcoin, because it has a limited supply, and when a lot of money comes into it, it moves in this direction. So euphoria comes in, people keeps buying a lot, then it has a correction, then again euphoria comes, then it has a correction, then again it goes and tops again, and it just keeps moving into this direction. And every time it breaks a resistance, it becomes a support for it. So in here we haven't touched, but if you see 2013, after it was broken in 2014, we had a correction in 2015, and uh, before 2016, then the price went up, then again it came down, then it held the support, then it went up. So again, we crossed all-time high. Again, the price touched all-time high. This was the exact place. Like, I have been through this phase of the market, okay? So I have been into this phase. I can assure you that nothing is wrong with Bitcoin at the moment. Nothing is wrong. So what do you see here? Again, break of all-time high has happened. A small correction happened before. Now it's again correcting. We didn't even get that euphoria that the price would go drastically up and the altcoins would go up, but that's also a good thing, because all these times when Bitcoin was going up, all these meme coins were going up, and all these other utility coins, which most of them became a scam in the end, they became a rug pull and people took out money and went. Those have really crashed. I agree with that. But Bitcoin itself is so resilient to anything, even to politics, because it hasn't crashed. Where is the crash? The price. So this is the monthly chart that I'm showing you. Now, if we go on a weekly, you can see that the price definitely did come down, and it came down a lot. So from $125,000, it came down around 41%. Now, do you call this a crash or it's a correction? Didn't it do before? How many times have we seen it before? Take a look at this one. 76% down. So the time that I was in, the first cycle of mine, I have seen this crash, which it came down 76%. This is, you can't even compare this. It's nothing. Take a look at the ones previously. It came down 83%. And it came down before that, another 83%. So are we going to see another 83% crash? Like a correction? No, I don't think this is going to happen. This is what I think people are missing. Even if it does, imagine how much Bitcoin I can accumulate around these prices if it goes there. That's how I think. And I have always told you guys that my 100% of money that I have is in crypto, is in Bitcoin and some other cryptocurrency that I believe is good. I'm not saying that I'm 100% in Bitcoin. I wish, but I don't have so much money so I can afford to have some Bitcoins. But that's why I have other things that I keep making money and taking profit from. That's how my life goes on. And I'm not here to show you some false data here, or to convince you into buying the course that I'm selling, or to tell you to come and learn or anything. It's your job to decide. My job is to make you aware that this is such a great asset that we all can benefit if we all hold, if we all buy, if we all encourage. That's what other peoples have done until it reached us. So it's important to give back to this community. It's important to raise awareness, especially for the Muslim world, because for us, it's important for a coin to be halal. And that's what I am teaching. And that's what my community stands for. And we think Bitcoin is halal, and we need to adapt it. We need to encourage it. We need to tell people how good of a thing it is. so we all can benefit in the future, instead of holding money into the fiat currencies and keep losing to the governments. That's how they control us. That's how they have enslaved us. And in order to get out of that, still it is Bitcoin. I will tell you this. Once all this FUD is over, once all this that you're seeing in the media is over, we're gonna, inshallah, see again people coming at the top of the market telling you that there's alt season and Bitcoin is going to the moon and to $1 million. But they're not saying the same thing at the moment. Unfortunately, people, that's how we are being controlled with information. I'm going to tell you some things. You need to go do research yourselves. We're being controlled by the information that we see, we hear, we listen to those, then we come with our own judgment. And in the end, nobody knows what happens in the future. Only Allah knows. Nobody can control any market in the world. There are so many factors. All the governments are involved. All the countries are involved. Yet the price does what it's supposed to do. Ask any trader. Go ask Jeffrey Epstein. Have you watched his interview with, there was an interview of him just came. I listened to it. It had a lot of lessons for me. I'm not saying that he's a good person. Even a bad person can give you a lot of good lessons. We know that. So I learned a lot from that interview. And he was also saying the same thing, that no trader knows. And that what happens in the market, it's only probabilities. And a successful trader takes decision upon into his intuition. For me, what I tell you is the same thing, but I tell you in the way that we believe, because we believe in Allah and our intention, our intuition, how we behave, what we believe in. It all comes from our souls. So it's important to actually nurture that. So you, whenever you wake up throughout the day and it's morning and you pray your Fajr and you know that the rizq is coming in Fajr, go and read the article that I have wrote inside the website joinhalalportfolio.com, that I tell you this secret, that if you're aware every single day and if you're seeing things according to what happens throughout the day, it's most likely you're gonna get it, and you're gonna get the best trade, you're gonna get the best position, your mind is gonna be still calm, you have done your prayers, you have surrendered yourself to Allah, and you know that anytime, any second, my life is gonna end, and I am not in control of anything. So you're not gonna stress, and you're always gonna be humbled, and you will learn, and you will strive, and you will do things so much better than you have already done. And guys, if you really enjoyed, and if you have learned anything, make sure you like the video so it reaches to more Muslims, and subscribe to the channel so you see the future videos. And yeah, spread the message. This is what I think, and I think this is the last chance that we have. We need to nurture Bitcoin. We need to develop the system. We need to promote the system which is ethical, which is Islamic, which is aligned with our faiths. And because we are, so you might think that if it's halal or haram, I have recorded a lot of videos about that too. You can go and watch that. There's an entire course there for free. Go do that. And once you learn, once you understand, go see what other people are giving fatwa as well. Come to your own conclusion in the end and see, because I see the bigger picture. Whenever people, especially our scholars, come and promote US dollar, and they say central bank, and if it's legalized in a country, I said, like, why did you allow a currency that is so bad? Our previous scholars, the ancient ones, the Sahabas, they were all politically aware. They were also Islamically aware of every single thing that they were saying and doing. That's why there was a justice at their time. That's why they couldn't allow anything immoral happen in the system, and that's why the system was run by Muslims. But now, because the system has changed so much, instead of fighting for fixing that system intellectually, our scholars have given up to the central banks, to the slave mindset. I will keep saying that because they have literally killed our spirits. They have literally drowned us. If it wasn't the case, we wouldn't have seen people dying in Gaza. Like they're being killed, thousands of them all the time, and since 2 years, unfortunately, more than 2 years now. I don't know how much I can talk about this, but I wanted to keep this short. I think it has become longer than I have expected. I hope I didn't bore you guys. If you like, let me know so I can make more content like this. Let me know in the description, in the comments, and also inside the community. Our community is for free. You can join. And yeah, if you wanted to learn further and get the real skills of how to trade inside cryptocurrencies, then you can also let me know. Have a good time. Take care.